All 4 cars from the Drive Home 2017 are here in downtown Detroit. What's new this year, we have of course the 3 classic cars that were here last year, but this Crane Simplex, once owned by the Rockefellers, is new this year, and it too had some issues on the road.
Well, in Jamestown, Rhode Island, we had 2 problems. One with the Crane Simplex. David had driven it from Newport down to Jamestown, which is about 20 miles, and it dumped antifreeze out. That turned out to be a copper line that the vibration had cracked, and fortunately it was in a place where I could shut off each end of it and refill it, and that's good. The Chrysler, though, we thought that we were going to have to replace the front brakes because they had overheated because the back brakes weren't doing much. So one of the people put out on to the Chrysler community that we might need front brakes and drums, and within an hour or 2 we had a connection for that, and it turned out that the connection was in Newport. So we got the parts just in case. Turned out we didn't need them, but we had the parts, and that's all just the community. We were in, and at that same time, to check the car out, we had stopped for lunch. I had talked with a gentleman who had seen the cars come into town and was a car person, and followed us to the restaurant. So I'm looking for a place to put it in the air, and I caught him and I said, do you know of anybody around here where we can get it up on a lift and work on it? And he said, well, I have one at my house. I'll just move one car off of it and you can work on it in my heated garage. So, you know, we did that. He stayed, just a super nice person, used his tools, his garage, his heat. We've had car problems, we've had things that we've had to deal with, but those things, there are things that we know that that's always a possibility. What is memorable is the people that have stepped up, who've never met us before, don't know anything about us, and have helped us, and they've been willing to bend over backwards, have a person move his car out of his garage so we can use his lift his personal lift at his house, have a person jump in their truck and go find a buddy of theirs to get a bolt for us. Just a number of things. I mean, I can go on and on about the things that have happened where people who don't know us, don't know anything about us, and just have been willing to help us. And that's what I'll remember, you know, because the other things are just mechanical things that happen, and you don't want them to happen, but when they do, when you know that there's people around that are helpful people and just care about you, that's a whole different story.
We're gonna load up. All right.
I mean, right there, Dale. I just told him he's leaving us. He's returning to North Carolina to be with family, and he doesn't want to go, but it's just life circumstance. And I just told him outside. I said, you know, I've had staff come and go, but that guy, it breaks my heart that he's leaving. He's a real deal. He's just a soft-spoken guy. He just works on these cars, makes them go. We have the emergencies. He never loses his cool. Just does what has to be done. And it's not about him. You know, I mean, from his perspective, he's just gifts. And I love the guy. I miss him. And the trip was great. You know, we had old cars last year. You were with us, and we didn't have one issue. This year we had several. But remember when we drove these cars in the older days, we had issues then, didn't we?
Absolutely, they're different cars.
Yep. But they ran, they made it. We had a great time. People coming out everywhere. It was fun to take it through, you know, New York and Boston.
Well, talk to me about the reception, the people's reaction to seeing these cars on the road.
You know what? The thing that always blows my mind, you see people waving at you, and now of course you see them all put their cell phones up and they're taking their photos and they're waving. But the thing that always gets me, that I'm surprised by, is they say, thank you. People are always saying, thank you for bringing these things out, which ought to tell us a lot, you know? And it just is gratifying, because as you and I both believe, these cars should be driven, you know, and not just sitting in a museum. And that's what we're all about, is getting them out and bringing them back to the people, and the memories come back.
That's what makes the museum unique, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we're absolutely committed to, you know, securing America's automotive heritage, and to me, that means don't put it in the dustbin of history. It means keep it out there, you know, and promote it. And then when the manufacturers and the government want to take us to driverless cars, you know, let them have them, right? And I'm sure they have their place in the city, and I'm sure they'll help, you know, provide access for people who can't, like the elderly or the infirm, and that's great. But a lot of us still want to drive. We're reminding them of that today.
Well, the 4 cars from the Drive Home 2017 are here in Detroit. They're downtown. They're going to be heading over to Cobo Hall, where they'll be on display during the 2017 NAIAS Auto Show here in Detroit. Take a look at them over there. You're going to enjoy touching and feeling these beautiful classics.